Hey guys, I'm Illusion and today we're gonna be doing another 7th zone video since the event came back. And as I said previously in my news video, in the recent one, they've changed the schedule of the event from being a bi-weekly event to now being a weekly event with half the battles. But the fact that it's now weekly makes it so that there's double the rewards. So it's definitely important that you do as much as you can with clearing these for the weapon and ascension materials so you can stay relevant in all the other modes as well. For the water zone, which is going to be the main focus of this video, you want to use your thunder attackers, or alternatively you could I found out that you can also use the units which have the killer ability of the enemy type that is currently live. So for this water zone, there's a beast enemy, so I'm able to use the Kotori, despite it being a fire unit, which doesn't really make sense for the water zone. But since it has the beast killer ability, you are able to use it instead of one of the thunder units. Though if you have +3, +4, or something like that thunder units, you should probably just use those. It's also gonna make it simpler for simplicity's sake. So along with, if you are using beast killer units like I am, I'm using one thunder and one beast killer unit. I recommend you to use the Winter Haruhime in combination with the beast killer unit, because she does remove the extra resistances the enemy applies on itself for the other elements that are not usually its weakness, so it makes it work. Something you also need in this single target zone is the stun resistance, which you can either get by using your 3-star Misha assist, or you can use Glorious Anklets with stun resistance, which is what I'm going to be using here. Other than that, just make sure to decrease the enemy strength as much as possible, and if needed, remove the enemy buffs for strength as well, so that you are able to survive. So we're gonna go ahead and apply all our debuffs and buffs on this turn. As for the sacrificial units, I'm using the first one that I'm using is the Line, which has an essay gouge buff, which allows me to use an essay on turn 4 and then get the other essays quickly. And then the second unit that I'm going to be using is just a physical resist debuff of some sort. In this case, it's going to be the Idle Eyes, because I am using a fire unit as well in Kotori, so that's my choice there. If your units already have physical resistance on one of their abilities, the ones that you're using, you can also use some other sacrificial units without a problem. Okay, so now the Firefighter Archer came in as well. And on this turn, we gotta make sure to do Haruhime, the Winter Haruhime skill 3, to decrease the amount of turns left on the buffs that the enemy applied on itself. So you can see all the extra resistances here, because with these resistances it would be even harder for the Kotori, which isn't really thunder type, to deal damage. And then we are setting everything up so that we can use the Haruhime special attack on the next turn, which increases the strength and magic of our entire party by 100%, which is definitely what we want. So turn 4 is going to be another Haruhime skill 3, the Winter Haruhime, just to make sure we also remove all the debuffs the enemy applied for strength and magic on our units, so that we're doing full damage, and then from there on we're just gonna use our high hitting abilities. So yeah, this turn is the Haruhime special. And then just be careful so that your Haruhime order is efficient, so that you don't lose out on any buffs or debuffs that you apply. You don't want those to run out, because having to reapply them usually wastes your turns and is not really good. So you should just make sure you keep those applied. And then we're just using all our high hitting abilities whenever we can. So, as you can see, the Kotori actually does more damage in this case to the boss because of the Beast Killer ability than, albeit it is a level 60 High Elf Archer, but they are comparable in that sort. So if you have a strong Beast Killer unit, as you said, you can always use that. On this turn we're gonna use the High Elf Archer assay alone to decrease the thunder resistance of the enemy as well, so that she will be dealing more damage. And Haruhime needs to remove the buffs and debuffs for the elements again. So as you saw, this turn, since the boss did have the resistances applied still, Kotori actually dealt less damage because of that. So definitely make sure you remove those as fast as possible. Another benefit of using the Winter Haruhime is also having a mana regeneration source for your units that are low on mana, usually, that do run out over the course of 20 turns, which is highly possible in this 7th zone event. So yeah, she's also good for that. She might be a good addition to any team, along with the original Haruhime and 2 damage dealers. And then with future assays, as you can see, we didn't use one on this turn despite it being available, because we are saving, we are trying to gather up multiple of them, so we can use them together for damage bonuses, which I will explain once they happen. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry for this, it's random, a random message, it's not on your side. Okay. So I did make a slight mistake here because of being a little bit confused. My Haruhime is running out of mana because I used a slightly wrong skill order there. Okay, so we're gonna take one more turn to reduce the buffs and to remove the buffs and debuffs from the enemy with the Winter Haruhime, since we regen her mana. And then next turn we're going to be using double assay instead of just one at a time, because using double assay increases the damage of each individual special attack by 20%. In this case, if you're using 2, if you're using 3, it increases it by 40%, each of them. And then there's also a combination attack at the end, if the units have the applicable combos. So it's definitely worth, once you've applied all the buffs and debuffs, so for example we applied the High Elf Archer debuff on the enemy with the first essay, then after that is usually worth doing multiple essays together, not just one at a time. So there's the combination attack as well that I talked about, and then it should take a couple more turns and 1 or 2 more special attacks to get rid of the rest of the HP of the monster. We are gonna use Kotori special attack here just because the monster is getting low and we are trying to take it down as fast as possible. So yeah. Also, your Kotori might not be hitting for this much, but what I've actually done is use the weapon materials that I got previously from previous 7 zones, and I ascended her weapon to level 80, which is the max at the moment. So she's also dealing a lot of damage due to that. Okay. And then let's let the last special attack finish it. So I'm going to be finishing on this on turn 17, but it's not really, it doesn't really make a difference unless you're going for high score, which doesn't make that much sense in these 7 zone events, but you have until turn 20 to finish it. So even if your units are not that high level, if you're using a decent setup, you should be able to clear even the very hard mode like I did here. So hopefully the video helped you. I will be making a video on the Earth Zone as well, and you can and in the next days I'm also making a Fin Record Buster video. So hopefully this helped you. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and the subscription. We are getting close to 100 subscribers. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.